Everyone may be seated. And I will officially call this meeting of the Warren City Council to order, January the 12th, 2026. And the first item will be called the roll.
Councilmember Hooper. Present. Councilmember Burks Frazier. Councilmember Henderson. Here. Councilmember Tolfree.
Present.
Councilmember Mosley. Here. Councilmember Atkins. Here.
Okay, we have 5 present. Councilmember Burks Frazier did give us a call this afternoon. Apparently she's got whatever's going around and is under the weather, so she's just not able to be here tonight, but we do have a quorum and can proceed from there. The first item on your agenda is the approval of the consideration of the minutes of December the 8th, 2025. You got those in your packet.
I move that the minutes of December 8th be approved as emailed and received by hard copy.
Okay, motion Councilmember Henderson and Councilmember Mosley made the second. This is to approve the minutes as submitted. Is there any question, discussion, correction of those minutes? All in favor of approval, show of hands, please. I see 5 in favor with one absent. All right, that brings us to our city clerk's report. You've got, first of all, the financial report. This is a year-ending report, so this covers the entire calendar year of 2025. You can look through there, so those numbers are going to be final on all the different departments. Several of them, we will be talking about this a little bit later. We'll have to do a budget reconciliation, but if you look, you've got administrative, law enforcement, you've got fire, just mentioning what each one you got, sanitation, you can look at the numbers, the final expenditures are highlighted in yellow, building codes, district court, municipal building, that is this building, it's a separate budget item of course, recreation, which covers a lot of territory, cultural center, the old Armory building, neighborhood center over on Martin Street, the shooting range, these are all individually budgeted, the senior citizen center, other, which is kind of a catch-all for a number of other things that just don't go in under any of those, the municipal airport, economic development, and then the street department. So you can see all of that there.
I move that the statement of revenue and expenditures be approved as presented by the mayor and received by hard copy.
Got a motion and second. Councilmember Henderson and Councilmember Mosley again. This is to approve that final year-ending financial statement. Is there any question or discussion? You will notice, I think we did real good following our budget for the most part. There were some places that we're going to have to do some amending, but generally speaking, we did better than I even thought we would probably turn out by the end of the year. Without any other questions, all in favor of approval, show of hands, please. I see 5 in favor. You've also got, just for your information in your packets, council members, you've got the cash balances. This is as of the end of December of 2025. All of our different accounts and standing accounts, that's all there for you. You will also notice the city and county sales tax. This will again give you the year-end amounts. First page is city, and then the second page is what the city gets from the county sales tax that's in place. We actually were down just a few dollars on the county part. The city part for 2025 was just a couple of $1,000s up over last year. You can see all that, and I was just looking through it earlier, just to call this to y'all's attention. You can see we finished pretty strong the last quarter, October, November, December. October, we brought in $100,000 plus. And I can't explain that to you. I'm not exactly sure what generated all that. Of course, the state won't really give you any specific information about that, individual businesses or whatever that's generating that money, but it sure did help us and pulled us up a good bit. So that's for your information. Got any questions, feel free to ask. You've got the district court. This is the Bradley County Division of the District Court. Of course, our district's made up of Drew and Bradley County, but we have our own court here. This is Judge Anderson's court that gives you all the information there. And then we've also got the overtime report, which we give you quarterly. Let y'all look over that a minute. If anybody got any questions, we'll try to get you an answer on it. All right, can I move on, or y'all got anything you want to ask or on any of that? And if you do on some of the departments, when they come up to give their department reports, you can ask some of them if you need to. Item 6 is the mayor's report. We have, it's time for our employee of the quarter. And Mr. James Norrell and his wife are here with us. James works for the street department and has been doing us a terrific job. And I'm going to ask he and his wife if they would just step up front here. Got a little something. And Monty, if you come in, the street foreman, that's James technically reports to Monty. And we'll try to get the city council up here and if y'all would like to, just gather around so we can get a picture made. We got a little gift card for you here, just as our appreciation to y'all. You might not just give it to her, go ahead, that'd probably be fine. But like I said, James has been working for the street department for something over a year maybe. And he does a lot of things that all of our people have to do in all of our departments. So, but right now he's the guy that's doing most of the street sweeping. We try to keep several people trained to do that, but he's doing it, and we feel like he's doing a real good job at it. So we're continuing to try to get all over town as much as we can and sweep these streets, and I think it is paying off. So we appreciate you very much, and let's get a picture made. If everybody would pose for a minute. All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate y'all being here. We appreciate your work. Thank you. Monty, thank you. All right. Move along here as rapidly as I can, but not run by anybody. If you got any questions or anything. Item 2 under the mayor's reports, update industrial prospects, and I'm going to be real quick. We got 2 deals going right now that we're working on. One of them is y'all heard me report on this, most of you that are not on the council, but people that keep up, the biochar facility that we've been trying for a long time, about 2 years at least, we've been working on trying to get in to the old poultry plant out on the southwest side of town, the industrial park. I honestly thought it was dead several times, and I can't guarantee it's not yet. But my latest information from the company that's been working on this, and Arkansas Development Finance Authority, which holds the note on the building and the land out there, is that they are actively trying to finalize a deal. And I know I'm like a broken record to some degree, but the guy that had the poultry operation out there still legally owns this thing. Now it's all delinquent. And that's the problem. They got to get that cleaned up, and then hopefully this new company is going to come in. They're going to just buy the thing if this works out right. It's not going to be another loan or a lease or anything like that. Of course, there's no city money involved anyway. But if everything works out, I'm being led to believe that we're close to hopefully getting something finalized on putting that plan in out there. The other thing that I've just recently learned is the hardwood flooring mill that closed down, the AHFP plant out there in that same industrial park area. Of course, it's been for sale by the company out of Pennsylvania that owns it, closed it down. They then farmed it out to a commercial real estate company to market it and try to sell it, not necessarily for hardwood flooring, but for some kind of operation, whatever they could find somebody that could make use of that facility and whatever. And apparently what's been referred to me as a venture capitalist company is looking at buying it. And what they do is they buy vacant plants, facilities, and then they sell it to somebody else to put something in out there. And usually they do that when they kind of have a bird in the hand already, looking to do something. So I've been in touch with the realtor as well as the company, and the realtor says I will be getting a visit here fairly shortly from this company that they're dealing with. And again, the company is not going to put a plan in out there, the ones that are talking about buying it. They would buy it, and then their purpose would be to sell it or make a deal with somebody to, put something in out there. And that's literally all I know right now, but we are actively pushing that. Only other final comment I'll make is on our land out here on the 189 bypass that we've leased, of course. BCDC is purchased from ADFA, or with ADFA loan money. We've leased it. Of course, it's just undeveloped property, but this coming Friday, we've got people from AEDC, Economic Development folks with the state of Arkansas, and several utility companies to come in, and BCDC is going to apply for a grant to try to do some development on the property out there, especially the utilities and getting better access to it. And, just all kinds of different things that need to be done to prepare the property. And there is a state grant program specifically for that, and that's what we're trying to put together. And of course, we're working with them, and we're going to be out there and try to see what they recommend, and then what we can possibly apply for. Anybody got any questions?
Is it the grant for matching funds, or do you know what type
Well,
of
we
grant
may
it
have
is?
to do a little in-kind, like move some dirt around, or some
We like
things like,
the
but not
in-kind.
cash.
Yeah, we like the income.
Not any cash, okay? 'Cause we, depending on how much we might need, we don't have,
Do you know how much the grant goes up to?
I should
I
know
have
that.
asked that at the
I
end.
should know that, and I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank
That's
right
okay.
now.
I'll find out later.
It will be fairly substantial, several $100,000 at least, which is, I'm sorry to say, is not that much money anymore on some of these things, but nevertheless, it'll help. Okay? Okay, now the next thing you've got, and this is item 3 under the mayor's report again, item 4. It says update AI policy, and I've been corrected. I think I'm the one that put that on there like it is. It's a policy we're required by law to adopt some kind of policy, and we've got a proposal for you here for cyber security. Now, I was told today after some further checking on it that this does include some AI things, but it's basically cyber security. The state of Arkansas is requiring, I guess, every city and county and everybody in the state to have a policy where we try to protect all of our, our internet stuff and all that. We put this together. The city clerk's office pretty well, I'll give them credit for getting most of it put together. We've worked with our current company that provides all of our IT services. That's the EDP people over at El Dorado. And the actual sample policy actually came from the Arkansas Municipal.
That's what I was going to say. This is similar to what we were given on
Yeah.
the executive committee.
So you got two choices here, council members. You can just approve this by motion and second. Or if you want to assign it to a committee to look at it and bring it back in February, you can do that. I don't think we'll be shot if we wait another month.
With it being in line with what the Arkansas Municipal League has shared with the executive committee, I move that the Warren City Council approve the municipal cyber security policy as presented.
I second.
All right, I got a motion by Councilmember Henderson, seconded by Councilmember Hooper to approve. I know it says sample on there, but that is the corrected document. They sent us a sample one and we redid it based on all the recommendations. Is to approve this, to adopt it officially as city policy. It can always be changed in the future. Is there any question or discussion? Okay, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor of adoption, let it be known by showing of hands, please. I see 5 in favor, again, one absent. Okay,
And
thank you.
we're going to remove the term sample.
Yes.
Okay, items 5 and 6 kind of are on one sheet of paper here. I mean, it's really kind of two different items. State law requires the first meeting of every year that the city council lay out the procedures of how you're gonna operate. We've done this last several years. And, you can see, what we've got laid out there for the date of the council meeting and, you know, how our committee system functions and all that. Several things listed there, about 4 items. It kind of lays it out. And then we've got, the council committees. Now that would be part of our procedures to set up our council committees. And I guess we talk about the council committees first. You can read, just approve what we've got here. These are the existing committees. You don't have to change anything. Our procedures have always been 6 council members. Everybody is a chairman of one committee and serves on 2 others. I know, Councilmember Atkins, you have brought this up. I think you brought it up last year. But brought it up and about, you know, some way or another rotating or changing the committees up. Don't have to totally overhaul them, but change them up in some way to get people some experience on all of the different committees. That's police committee, fire committee, sanitation committee, street committee, community economic development committee, and ways and means, which is basically the finance or budget committee.
I move that we approve the City of Warren 2026 council procedures as presented by hard copy.
All right, so the motion is to approve, leave the committees as they are in effect and reapprove them for the coming year. Is there a second to that motion?
I second.
All right, it is seconded. Now it's open for any discussion or Councilmember Atkins, you're recognized.
I just want to reiterate that I just believe that in order for us to truly be effective and to build capacity as council members, that we should be able to be involved in other committees and learn more about inner workings of our municipality. So I wish y'all would really consider that.
Call for the vote.
Okay, y'all ready to vote? There's several different ways to do this, but the motion is to approve them as they are. So, all in favor of just setting the committees as they're listed there on your information, show of hands, please. I see 1, 2, wait a minute, keep them up. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, those opposed. 1 opposed and 1 absent. So that leaves it as it is. Now, otherwise, we just need to approve the rest of this document as well as it is now with the committees, unless there's something.
The motion was actually to approve the document, the City
Oh.
of Warren 2026 six council received.
My apologies, I thought we were just acting on the committees first. Okay, gotcha. You get that right in the minutes, the motion and the vote. Everybody clear on that? What you voted was to approve the entire procedures document, okay? Which would include the committees, as they are. All right, that takes care of my report. Can I ask, personal privilege of the council, is Monty still out there? Would y'all let him come give his report? Monty's not feeling real good and needs to be able to leave and
Absolutely. I move that we amend the agenda.
okay. All right, motion, Councilmember Henderson, seconded Councilmember Atkins to amend the agenda and move the street foreman's report to this point. Question or discussion to that? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor. Monty, you're recognized.
Thank you. How y'all doing, Merry and Happy New Year? We have just about completed the intersection widening of Bragg and Kelly. We still got to install the rails, but other than that, that project is just about complete.
You've done an outstanding job.
We're working on looking at another little issue that we're gonna have to work on in a short time, but we're getting it ironed out. Maybe we can present it shortly. Other than that, it's just been business as usual. Been trying to sweep as much as we can, patch potholes, work on some street signs. That's about all I got to say right now.
I might just add one thing. Y'all know we've had some problems in the past with our truck route. Trucks coming in primarily from the north going to the plants over on the east side of town. I know two council members that live over there, so they know specifically. We thought and I do think we've made some progress. We've remarked it and got it a whole lot better, but it appears that we've got some trucks now trying to come in from the bypass on the southeast side of town. That intersects with Bradley Road, and so they're just coming through there, which puts us right back where we were with the problem we were having, where they have to turn on to Pennington. We've marked no trucks, but it's kind of a small sign, and Monty and I talked today, and we're gonna put a big sign up there, and then just try to enforce it the best we can, because we got it marked. The other part of it marked, I think, pretty good. This is vehicles trying to get to Townsend Hardwood Foreign, Washita Hardwood Foreign. Most folks that remembers the old Sykes plant or something like that, but that's those two operations are over there. So we are trying to address that. It's hard to watch it 24/7, but we're trying to keep an eye on it. We are also, one other thing I just want to mention, I haven't brought this up, but we're continuing to have a few issues in town with log trucks that are not staying on the truck routes. We have designated truck routes to get to the Southern Mill or to, any of our manufacturing operations that are not right on highways, streets that they're supposed to stay on. Well, the problem is, we've got a number of people that have been driving these trucks, and they go home at night with loaded log trucks. Now, we can't stop them from driving an empty log truck and, parking it on their own property, but we've had parking them in streets. I think we've got most of that corrected by just going to these people and saying, hey, you can't do that. But we're still having some of them, a couple in particular, that are coming through in different parts of town, especially out on the kind of the west side of town, in the area out there that's Forest Road and Rock Street, some of those areas, and their residences are out there. Yeah, you can go, Bonnie, if you need to head on. I'm sorry. Take off. And, they're quite frankly driving through there, and they're parking these log trucks at their homes, in effect, loaded, and then so they can get out early in the morning, get their first load of logs in. We understand what they're doing, but it's causing a lot of problems, we're getting a lot of complaints, of course it tears your streets all to pieces. And, we are trying to address that, without any new laws or anything, but we'll come back to you if we have to. And I didn't want y'all to know that in case you hear something about it. Okay?
Yeah, I have.
Yes, ma'am.
I have, complaints with the street, also by the log trucks and the trucks. The gas diesel self-pay station that's on the corner of Etheridge and Central, trucks are being loaded and being parked there overnight on a regular basis. And the citizens, residents, they, are not happy about that because initially that was not the intent. It's supposed to be get gas and go.
That's not illegal. That's a private, commercial property, and they have access from the highway, and if that company it's kind of like the Citgo station out here south. You notice there's a lot of stuff parked there. That's not illegal there. Now, if they're driving to a residence or something like that, and just parking, but they're not getting off the truck route to park there.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be designated a truck stop? 'Cause
No,
it's
ma'am.
not a
No,
truck
ma'am.
stop.
No, ma'am.
Okay,
Not if it's a commercial business. And they don't have to get, on a non-truck route street to get to it. And that's, of course, on Central, which is a state highway. I know exactly where you're talking about, I understand, yeah.
okay, and the second complaint was the road repair that was done on St. John, on Rock Street. It was something, we had an incident, and they had to, break the road up, and they covered it with gravel. It's right there on the corner of Rock and St. John's. And it's covered with
Is that
gravel.
a street break where we had to cut it?
Yeah.
Somebody had to cut to the street?
Yes,
Okay,
and so have some complaints about,
okay.
You
Well,
know,
I mean,
they're
it's probably on the list to ultimately be repaired, but it's a street break.
okay.
We got a
and-
number of them around town that we still gotta get repaired, yes.
And also.
I'm guessing that's what it is, unless
Yes.
it's something I'm
It
missing.
was, yes, that's what it was, wasn't it, Joel?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right, we'll check on it.
And so, it was
We'll check
covered
on it.
with rocks, and the rocks are, kind of fading away, and it makes it kind of like difficult to go.
Have to be dressed up
Mhm.
several
And then-
times before you resurface it.
And also on St. James, when you turn off Rock Street. But I can remember Sonic came and did something there. You know what I'm talking about?
New gas lines,
Okay.
yeah.
And they just covered it with rocks, and the rocks are fading away also.
Okay.
And the
If
resident,
you'll get me a list of any of those, so I can make sure I'm looking at the right place, we'll check on it and see what's going on there. All of those should be repaired.
okay,
They should be, but if something fell through the cracks, we need to
okay.
get back on it. If you can get me a list of any of them you're aware of, and anybody else too for that matter, we'll check them out. I know there's a number of them around town that still gotta be finalized.
Well, those were the 3 called-in complaints that I
But now,
had.
are you
Okay.
saying that the log trucks are on Everett Street and on Central, or are you saying it's
No.
on the property?
It's on the property.
On the property
Where they-
where the diesel is?
But the access to it is on truck route.
On,
Etheridge
on
is a
Everett,
truck
yes,
route,
it
and
is.
of course the highway is a truck route. What we're talking about is going through, driving through residential neighborhoods, non-truck route
They're up and
streets.
down Everett all day long.
Etheridge is a truck
It's
route.
around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They-
by ordinance, it's a truck route. Okay? Yes, sir, Mr. Dolfrey?
If everybody on the council may recall, we discussed these street breaks to a lot of degree. And, I encourage the citizens to call on it when they feel it. Because the reason why it's happening is, first of all, they're feeling it, then you run them, and you knock the rocks out, and they need to be filled again. Because if you go right then, the day that they do that break, it's going to sag. So they packing it back in there. So keep calling up here and have them to tell them where it's at, and they can keep coming. And then also, when a utility does the break, the utility bears the cost of refilling it. So that's another reason why we should keep going and reminding of what's going on, because they are supposed to be liable to do that and take it off the citizens.
Thank you, sir. You're exactly right. Right on target. Okay? All right, thank y'all. And we can go back to our regular order here now. And time for public comments. Do we have anybody signed in to speak? As Charlotte says, I think that means no, so nobody's signed in to speak, so we'll continue on here. Okay, that gets us down. Council members, y'all got anybody you want to recognize, or skip that? Okay,
No, my person had to work, so she's not
okay.
going to be here.
I do want to reiterate what Mr. Tollfree said, for any citizen out there, when you got places like this, 'cause we have a lot of street breaks, you know, utility repairs, stuff going on, just all kinds of reasons for some of that, and we, you know, try to get them patched back up, but we do want them fixed where they don't sink in later on. That's why we take a little time, get some moisture on it, get that SB2 rock in it, and get it packed good. But over a period of time, you do have to dress them up before they're ready to be paved. So just call the mayor's office. We will do our best to jump on it if we haven't noticed it or hadn't spotted it. Item 7, Administrative Standing Committee Reports. Police Chief? They've got your report, Chief, so you got the floor.
Mayor, you guys have my report for the police department's activities for December of 2025. Again, business as usual, we have nothing to report out of the ordinary. We are still advertising for patrolman and dispatch position. We have a dispatcher retired last month. We did, the civil service did hire us a non-certified officer last week, and she started the academy. Actually, her first day was today, this morning, was the first day of the academy. So we do have an officer in the academy. Again, we are still trying to fill those vacancies. We're taking applications for dispatch and patrol.
Public announcement advertisement. Anybody that's looking for a job and wants to be a police officer, feel free to come and apply, because we're most anxious for anybody that's got an interest in that line of work. Dispatchers too, but boy, y'all trying to get a Councilmember Mosley lined up to be a police officer, is that what y'all are doing? But anyway, this is a constant issue, finding.
It's a universal.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just Warren, trust me, for a number of different reasons, but anyway, and you don't have to be certified. Of course, we love to find people that's already got their certification, because then you can just put them to work out there, but they're willing to go to school for about
13 weeks.
13 weeks at the police academy in East Camden, then, you know, we can get through there, you're certified, and we send a lot of people there, so please keep that in mind. Any questions for the chief on anything?
They don't have to be certified, don't we have to let them to, Chief?
Excuse me?
Cause some of them, when they leave a place, they left for a reason,
Right.
and we do a little research on them before we hire.
Yes, we do an extensive background check on, yes.
I don't want somebody else to do it.
All right, police committee, council member Burks Frazier is absent. You'll notice there's one item there. Feral cats, this is something we brought to the council not too long ago, getting some requests and complaints around town about the cat population. A difficult issue to deal with, but we are doing some research on what some other towns are doing. The committee will be meeting at some point. I had a visit today with our local veterinarian, Dr. Norris, that basically is in charge of our Warren Animal Clinic, but also Monticello Animal Clinic, trying to get some opinions from the veterinarian community as to, you know, what's the best thing for us to look at, how to go about doing it. told her I wanted a good solution that costs nothing, and she started laughing at me, so. But anyway, I did, we're gonna get back with her, she was gonna give it some more thought, and then she's gonna be willing to meet with the committee, even to talk about some different things that, and we're looking, again, there are some cities that are trying to address this in Arkansas, and we're trying to find out, you know, what kind of ordinances they got, and see what we can do. It is an issue, it is a problem in a number of our neighborhoods.
And it's more stray cats.
Yes, ma'am, that's what a feral cat is, it's a wild cat. What we're finding, and again, I don't wanna take up too much time, but what we're finding is, a lot of these cats start out, of course, belonging to somebody, but we don't always know who it is, and then when something does happen, or you catch it, or you get a complaint, like it got on somebody's vehicle, scratched up, or something like that, suddenly nobody owns it.
But they don't.
You know, that's the kind of issue we're dealing with, so we gotta figure out how to address that, to hold the owners responsible, and then what do you do with all the actual stray cats, as you said, just like we have to deal with stray dogs. Okay. Members Atkins, Mosley, do y'all know of anything that I'm forgetting there, or do y'all have anything from the committee?
No, we haven't met.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Nick.
All right, Fire Chief, Chief Moore. You're gonna have, Chief, Police Chief, everybody, a copy of a letter just, that was in there, put it in their packets.
Yes.
That was just put in their files, the commendations, is what that was for good job. A couple of our police officers, he wanted to make a note of that and put it in their permanent file, and we just wanted y'all to have it.
Yeah, it
So that's-
really should go in their personnel file.
It is.
Yeah.
What did they do?
Chief, you wanna, to the best you can, explain what they did?
They made some good arrests.
Felony drug traffic stops.
All right.
Thank you, Chief.
No problem.
Okay. All right, sorry about that, Chief. Fire Chief, come ahead. Monthly report, please. Y'all got this in your packets.
Good evening. Month of December was relatively busy. We had 36 calls. We had one toned out potlatch and one extradition call that was toned out, and our total payroll was $850 for the volunteers. And we had our monthly meeting on December the 1st with 18 members present. We did add one new volunteer, Bailey White. Civil Service Board approved him Friday afternoon, and that completes our roster for the time being. We're full for volunteers, so that's a good thing. And I did send everyone on the insurance list a letter, another additional letter, but I have not heard anything back from them, so.
We're gonna have to, we don't get some response, we're gonna have to do something or let it be, one of the two, but, these folks are not companies, what we're talking about here is people that we answered fires in the city limits, and their insurance has a payment to the fire department included if we had to go to a fire at their residence or business, and they reimburse. Everybody's insurance don't have that,
Yeah, some of them.
but a lot of them do. And that's what we're trying to do, is collect that money from those that do have that kind of insurance coverage to make sure the money comes to the fire department to, help us with our expenses there. Okay? Any questions for the fire chief? There's toll free, I didn't get a chance to, I guess I forgot, I was going to talk to you. We got listed on the fire committee, and I know y'all haven't met.
I got a motion for the Southeast Arkansas Firefighters Association membership
Go ahead.
for the total cost of $700 for 35 members at $20, and that's in form of a motion.
Second.
Got a motion, Councilmember Tollfree, second Councilmember Henderson, to approve this. This is routine, but we do have to approve it each year. Question or discussion? All in favor, show of hands, please. I see 5 in favor. Thank you, Mr. Tollfree. Appreciate that.
That's just experience of serving on the committee.
Sir? Well, you do good, so we appreciate it. All right, that's all we got, chief. Unless they got a question.
I told them you were gonna do that at the agenda meeting, so.
Come on now, if I been.
None of us look surprised, do we?
Come on now.
All right, sanitation manager, Mr. Johnson, if you'd come and, there's some written stuff in there, you can just go ahead and talk about building codes,
Anybody have any questions? I'll be glad to-
sanitation, just kind of go over anything you got on any of it.
Y'all got any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Ms. Shirlene Stewart stated that she was gonna contact you this past Friday. Did she do so? In
concerning-
relations to the junkyard over,
I was told about it this morning, yes ma'am.
Okay.
Yes ma'am. About on-
she's working tonight is the reason she's not here.
Okay, yeah, I went by there today and we're gonna get the paperwork started on it again and some properties that are adjoining it this time.
Yes,
And I'll make my own call on instead of worrying about it.
thank you so much.
Yes ma'am.
This is kind of a continuation, I think, of one of the issues we've had over in the southern side area. Kind of got one property cleaned up, and
Move it
to
another-
some degree at least, and some of the stuff just kind of got moved to another site. And so, anyway, we're gonna check all that out. Rob, go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Tolfree, do you have a question?
Well, I was going to wait until we got to the new property cleanup, but since we're already on that,
Go ahead.
my mind has kind of got fuzzy, but on West Central, right across from the crematory, on the south side of the highway,
Yes, sir.
is that 1306 or?
Close to it, yes, sir.
Yeah, somewhere like that.
Give him an update, Rob, because I know
Okay.
we've been working on that.
We have been working on it. We have not made contact with anybody that's directly responsible for the project, for the property. He's in the nursing home. We have done our due diligence on trying to find all the relatives, and there's several heirs involved. And they did do partial cleanup on it. They got started. They were gonna come back and remove the mobile home that was there and a couple of other buildings. And that's where we are right now. They're at a standstill because they're not in agreement on who's wanting to pay for it. And that's where I'm at right now. And, but as far as the person responsible and the owner of the property, they are in the nursing home.
But I also had several citizens that live around dilapidated properties, just like up there on East Pine. They say we kind of, their words, we're kind of hard on the citizens that are actually here, but on people that are not here, we kind of just like turn a blind eye to it, and we don't never do anything, and we kind of drop the ball on properties that doesn't have anybody that's there.
Well, Mr. Tolfree, in that case, when there's nobody here, we can either take the money and do it ourselves or do what we're doing right now, trying to bluff them into getting it.
All right, I'll give them that.
I mean, you give me $40,000 or $50,000, I'll clean it up.
All right.
But, all the complaints that we get notified by, get a letter sent to by the owner according to the courthouse. And some are deceased and some are turned over to the state, and there's a process why they get turned over to the state. And then it's a 3-year process before we can do anything anyway. And then it's funny, everybody wants property till you send them a letter to clean it up, then nobody wants it. And I'm dealing with that on all 4 areas of town. And, but, you know, we were able to get like 31 properties cleaned up this past year, which I think is excellent. But we'll just continue to do what we can do until we get a pot full of money that's thrown at me, and I'll clean it up.
Appreciate it. Just wanted to give them an explanation.
Well, you make a good point. It's a difficult process. It really is. It's a difficult, and then especially when you don't have somebody you can kind of put your hands on, you know, immediately, so to speak, legally. Of course, we can issue tickets now, as y'all know, and we are doing that. That includes people that are out of state, but then you gotta get it to them. And, you know, you can't extradite them back here, you know, to go to court or something like that. So we're doing everything that we can, but your point, and the citizens of the community, I'm gonna tell you, I agree with you 100%. These places need to be cleaned up and maintained. And it's not right, that it's not done, but we got an awful lot of them to deal with.
The property on Central that you brought up across from the crematorium, we're at a standstill unless we wanna proceed financially and clean up ourselves. Because the gentleman that's in the nursing home is not doing it, and nobody else has power of attorney or anything over the property, so.
And it could be going back to the state. as
It
well.
could be in a couple of years, yes ma'am. Yeah, but in the meantime, now it's been ordered condemned. You can tell me to do it and it'll be cleaned up this week. But we're looking at money. But otherwise, we're just going to wait the process out till hopefully it goes to the state and then I can do our.
Now, if I might add, I think there has been somebody's just out of the goodness of their heart, maybe somebody
really?
knows a family or something, has done some property cleanup. The issues, the old mobile home that's,
Well, they tore the house down and cleaned up the property. They left the mobile home in the backyard. The house has been tore down, hauled off by relatives. They did all they could do. But they don't want to spend any more money on it, and they're trying to get the other ones to do it, and they don't want to. So, yes.
You know, I don't know who did it and when they did it, and I'm landed on the land commission. Used to, when we had delinquent properties like that, we do it right there at the courthouse.
still do.
I thought they moved it to do it in a group. Now they moved it to Monticello, where they do more than one county at a time.
Now that I don't know.
And I went over there.
One time they did.
Yeah, I know. I went over there to UAM to do that, and you had a lot of out-of-state people.
Yeah.
They're bidding on it, so it didn't help like it used to, because you had somebody local getting it, and they would do something with it. But when they took it and did more than one county, you had people coming from out of state and purchasing.
I think it might have done some of that online.
Yeah,
You know, Craig?
and I
That's
wish.
where some people, we got people in New Jersey buying property.
Yeah,
And then, you know, we can ultimately find out who they are, but then, and, you know, try to notify them based on the,
Maybe part.
Mhm. Yeah. So I'm saying that's no good. That's counterproductive.
the
for the
system
community.
is not good.
No.
The system is not good.
I did not know about the combining of.
Yeah, I went over there for some.
We'll try to keep watching that. Rob, you got you got your stuff there on how many junk pickups we've done in December, limb removals, 4 inoperable vehicles. How many cars are we up to now that we?
I'll have a total next month.
Mhm.
Okay.
We're well over 100.
Yeah. We maybe zeroing in on 200. These are junk cars that are sitting on properties.
Got approximately 1,000 left. Or 1,500.
Are you guessing at that, or you,
I'm assure you there's 1,500.
okay? Yes, sir, Mr. Oakley.
Seeing though how the drought situation is getting worse, I had some people that wanted to bag their leaves up.
Mhm.
Do we pick them up, Rob?
Yes, sir.
What's the process for that?
You bag and send them to the curb, we pick them up every Thursday and Friday.
You gotta call in
Yeah.
now.
No, you do not.
You do
pick
not
them
have
up
to
on the-
call in,
We pick them
okay.
up on the trash route every Thursday and Friday. If it happens to be missed, it will be gotten the next Thursday, and Friday. Or if you need a special pickup, we'll pick them up.
You don't have to
We pick up-
call in?
No, ma'am. Leaves are put at the
Thursday
curb,
and
put
Friday.
on the curb, we pick up every Thursday and Friday, because we have a short trash day on Thursday and Friday, we don't have much trash out.
Oh,
And it will continue to do that on Thursday and Friday, even if the other situation takes up.
that's good to know.
Well, yeah, I had called for somebody, and that's exactly what she told me, and they just didn't know.
Yes, sir. It
Thank
just makes a lot easier to, you know, 'cause some people will get the call, to be honest with you, they'll set them out and they won't call. Yeah, I had a lady last week, matter of fact, on Esther Street, put out some leaves and she forgot to call. And told me she did.
Thank you.
Just anytime, tell anybody to call up here, if they, in doubt, call and let us know, and that'll kind of guarantee that we'll make sure it's on the list.
But that's bag leaves and bag straw, that's what we're talking about.
Good questions. All right, anybody got anything else for Mr. Johnson? We're gonna go to the sanitation committee just for a moment here. Councilmember Atkins, I know we haven't met, but you wanna make any comments?
Just kind of update the council on the two items that's on our agenda, the franchise agreement with GFL and the garbage receptacles. I know that the administration met, would you call it a marathon session?
That's what I call it.
To get our franchise agreement in hand with GFL. So everybody remembers last month we approved for us to move forward with the contract with GFL to now be our contractor for collecting our solid waste, residential and commercial. So as soon as we get the finalized franchise agreement for 5 years, is that right, Ron? Then we'll have a committee meeting to look over and then hopefully bring that to the council. And then at the same time, we will look at some samples about changing out the garbage receptacles in the downtown area. So right now, we're just waiting. And as soon as he gives us the go-ahead, then we'll call for the sanitation committee, maybe have to call a special meeting if it's after our next council meeting. But I'll leave that, Rob.
You're good, we're in the process right now working with GFL for the commercial side of it, with the containers versus the roll around cans. And once we get that worked out, I'll give a report to them on who wants to continue to have a dumpster and who doesn't. And we've started that process right now. I did it with 4 businesses today. I've got 7 lined up for tomorrow to visit with, so we're trying to get it all in a row before GFL starts bringing this stuff over. So I feel like within another week, I will have a report for them, which they requested from me, and then we can go forward pretty quick, because the residential is set, it's ready.
Where are we on the truck that broke down for the commercial?
We're back going.
On that note, I had several commercial businesses to call, and they had trash bags all around the dumps, and they called, and I told them that our truck was incapacitated, and that we was in the process of doing a new contract, and so they'd be more able in the future to be able to handle it, and maybe it won't happen again.
We did keep trying to pick it up, but it was hard to keep up with it. We literally were emptying those big dumpsters, our people were, by hand, and then also using that grapple truck, the one we picked the junk up. It come in pretty handy. We could empty some of those things with that. If we hadn't had that, I don't know what we'd have done. But
In saying that, we were, after we got the truck back, we were caught back up in a day and a half, so we were back on track.
Well, I want to commend the guys, because I know that was pretty extensive for them coming out of Christmas. The trucks were running really late on top of that truck breaking down, so I really appreciate the work that they do.
this is probably a pretty good place for me to make one other, I promise, brief comment. But one of the things Rob's trying to do is talk to every business that currently has one of those red or green, we got a couple of different colors, containers, the big dumpsters we're talking about for, heavy garbage users is what they're for. And, cause some of these businesses don't need that, and we're gonna be able to take care of them with just a roll-off cart, or maybe a couple of them, to pick up their just day-to-day garbage. We want to cut down to where there's as few of those big dumpsters as possible. Can't get rid of them, gonna have some for some businesses. We have a tremendous volume of garbage being hauled into our city from outside the city limits, and that's where they dump it all, in these red containers that are designated for individual businesses, not the public. And we've tried to advertise that, we've tried to, but it just don't seem to make any difference. Of course, that means the people of Warren are subsidizing somebody else's garbage, either out in the county or even if it's another city. And we gonna clamp down on that every which way we can. And one of the ways is to not have any more of those containers than we just gotta have. And then we're gonna do whatever we can to try to stop it, because it is costing our people money. Every time these folks bring stuff in from outside the city limits of Warren, and they've all got garbage collection, certainly in the county they do, here and all the other counties too, around about, and that's something we gotta do, because it is costing us and driving our cost up.
And if the dumpster is full, they throw it on the ground around it.
Absolutely. So just, these are tough issues to deal with, sometimes a little tough to enforce, but we start by trying to get rid of as many of the dumpsters as we just have what we've gotta have, and then try to figure out ways to, stop people from dumping in there that's not supposed to. Okay. Yes, yes ma'am.
Another question. I've noticed some people have, some of the 90-gallon containers that are not the ones that we purchased, the new ones.
Yes, ma'am.
So when we transition, will GFL pick those up as
No,
well?
ma'am.
Just
No,
the
ma'am.
ones that,
The only ones with City of Warren be picked up, and everything has to be inside a container.
is the one that says City of Warren?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, we've talked about that, and I know I don't wanna, again, we could stay here all night discussing this. Rob and I are becoming experts on garbage, of all the things I ever thought I'd have to learn a lot about, but that's kind of the way it is. We've got a number of residents in Warren that more than one family live there, or there's a lot of people, and they generate a lot of garbage. And there's two things we're gonna have to do. Number one, people gonna have to recycle. They're gonna have to pull the cardboard and the paper out, and that's why we're putting all this stuff together. Well, they got places to dump it and drop it off. We're even gonna pick it up if they have a big enough, volume of it, and they'll call in cardboard and paper. But we've also, in a lot of places, there may have to be more than one container. The 96-gallon container just may not be big enough. If you got enough people living there and you got that much garbage, we're gonna be able to provide some, where needed, more than one container, but there's gonna be extra charges for it. If you're gonna have that much garbage, you're gonna have to pay more.
$10 additional charge.
Yeah, we're gonna charge for every container over the first one. You're gonna pay an extra $10. That will be on the water bill. So what I'm saying, I guess I'm talking to the public as much as I am anybody else here. Please work with us on this recycling, to get stuff out of there that don't need to be in the garbage. It will save you money. It will save everybody in Warren money. And we're gonna do a lot of advertising and education and pick it up considerably from what we've done in the past, trying to get people to understand that. That's why we got the drop-off center over on Etheridge Street. That's why we got the drop-off center down here by the fire department. People can just drop by and throw the cardboard boxes. Most of this cardboard, but also there's a lot of just clean paper. You can just bag it up and drop it off at these places too. Or if you got 10 bags of clean paper, call us. Our recycling people come get it. And all the garbage is going to have to be sacked, the actual garbage is going to have to be sacked up and put in these containers. Because if you don't, it will be scattered all over the world when they empty those containers. So we're going to have to, and we're not doing nothing here that half the rest of the world is not doing now, okay? But again, this is all to try to make sure we get the garbage picked up, but try to keep the cost down as much as we conceivably can on all of our, everybody, residents and businesses and everybody. All right, I'm doing too much talking. Rob, if I skipped anything, we need to,
I'm good at that.
y'all got a question on anything else?
No.
The garbage collection and the recycling goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. So we got to pursue that. All right, thank y'all. Thank you, Rob. No other properties to condemn or anything like that right
Not
now.
at this time, no.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna move, we've done item G, we've done item H. Street Committee, Councilmember Mosley, do you have? All right, Parks and Rec, I let Mr. Wagner off. His son was playing basketball tonight in Star City, and I try to let the employees go to their kids' stuff. And he's got a report that is in your packet there. Let y'all look at it. If you've got any kind of question, if I don't know the answer, I'll get you one. We've got everything broken down. We're about ready to start baseball and softball out at the baseball complex. We're doing a good bit of just, finalized work, getting everything ready there. I'm expecting a reply from the school district. I've talked to the superintendent about what they're going to be willing to do as far as financially with the operations during baseball and high school baseball and softball. I don't have it yet, but I have talked to him several times. Trying to address that. Any questions? Okay. Let's see if I can move on here. Community Economic Development, Councilmember Hooper. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. We don't have anything to report. We have the revised and, ordinance 970, food truck ordinance, and it will be ready for reading on this one.
Okay, very good. Y'all do have a copy of it in there, it's just for everybody to look at it. And just so I might tell them, the ordinance is proposed not only takes into consideration what the committee had previously told us it wanted to do, but it totally eliminates the original ordinance. Just strikes it off the books and just comes down to this one. So, okay, thank you, ma'am. We'll keep all that on there for future action. Ways and Means.
Firstly,
Councilmember Henderson.
my committee would just like to thank the council for approving the budget in December rather than the month of January. We have one item listed, and that is balancing the budget for 2025, and that is by state law, and we will do it by resolution. So, Mayor, would you please read the resolution?
Yes, ma'am. This will be proposed resolution 709. 709. Resolution amending resolution number A700 of the City of Warren, Arkansas, to amend the budget for the City of Warren, Arkansas for the calendar year 2025, appropriating funds for said city budget and for other purposes. Whereas the mayor submitted to the City Council for approval or disapproval of proposed budget for the City of Warren, Arkansas for the calendar year 2025, whereas the following budget has been approved by a majority of the members of the City Council at a meeting called for this purpose, whereas said budget is now on file in the office of the city clerk and shall be available for public inspection during regular business hours, be it ordained by the City Council of Warren, Arkansas. Section 1 of Resolution A700 of the City of Warren, Arkansas is hereby amended to read as follows, that the following budget for the operations of the City of Warren, Arkansas for the calendar year 2025 be and the same is hereby approved. Funds in said amount are hereby appropriated for said purposes and accounts during the year 2025 from time to time as needed. Detailed budget documents should be available at the Office of the City Clerk for public inspection during regular business hours. Attached to that, what this resolution approves are the actual numbers.
I move that we adopt resolution A709.
Second.
Motion, Councilmember Henderson, seconded Councilmember Hooper to approve resolution it'd be A709, but anyway, I didn't say that previously. Question or discussion? The motion is to approve the resolution which would reconcile the budget. All in favor, show of hands. Thank you.
That ends the Ways and Means report.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, item 8, You do not have a Parks and Recreation, no minutes, Planning Commission, nothing, Aviation, nothing, Water and Sewer, you've got their normal minutes of their last meeting and their financial balance sheets, that's all for your information, so you can see what's going on there. Housing Authority, you should have, I think there's some minutes in there on the Housing Authority, am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Got the right place here in my stack. Cultural Center likewise, you've got the report there. I think I mentioned at the agenda meeting that our grant for some $800,000 for the Cultural Center from the state of Arkansas was not funded at this time, so we're gonna have to, back up and take a look at what we can try to do there.
Mayor, I know that you visited with Patricia Hargroves, but would you go back and visit with her again? Because we are a part of Southeast Arkansas Economic Development District and, surrounding us, other counties and cities, are getting things. So we really need her to help us with the cultures.
Well, she does. She helped us put the application together, and they're, of course,
We
looking for,
need positive results.
the state of Arkansas is who's turning us down.
So
Not the development district, it's the state of Arkansas.
So have we visited with our state representative and senator to see if there's anything that they can do to help us?
We have in the past, not recently. but
Can we
since
go back to them?
Well, of course. Of course. We can try. 'Cause we need some help, there's no question about that. For that, and the same thing with the, this is not our subject, but the West Side Pool, we got turned down on that too. That's through, outdoor recreation program, and the report I got back on that was they were tired of funding swimming pools. Not that it's ineligible, it's still eligible, but that just wasn't where they were gonna put their priority this year. We've already started the process of reapplying on that. That project is eligible for funding. No reason, it was a good application. But we're gonna try again, in the meantime, try to keep Band-Aided together the best we can and keep functioning. But your point's well taken, thank you. Okay, we do not have any unfinished business. You'll look at your new business, item 10. I've got a recommendation, a nomination for you from Miss Adriana Martinez to fill a vacancy on the Parks and Recreation Commission. She is an employee of the State Health Department, local office. You've got a resume from her in here. She's been recommended by a number of people in the community. Said they thought she would be a good person to serve. I've talked to her at length. She's willing to, understands how we function and what we do. And I'm going to nominate her to be appointed.
I move that Andre
Adriana.
Martinez be approved.
Okay, I got a motion. Who seconded that? Mr. Tolfree, did you second that? Okay, any question or discussion? All in favor, show of hands, please. I see 5 in favor. Okay, I'm also going to make a recommendation to you tonight. We still don't have a city attorney. And we've been just trying to limp along and get by. And I'm going to recommend to you that we appoint Mr. Ricky Roper, local attorney. He does not live in the city limits of Warren, but that's okay. We're just going to appoint him if you see fit to do it for the rest of this calendar year. This just would run through 2026.
I make a motion, we appoint Ricky Roper as city attorney.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. We'll say this before you vote. Ricky and I have had a discussion. He's willing to do it. Of course, we just pay him what the current budgeted amount is for the city attorney's job. And we also have a clear understanding that should there be some type of conflict of interest, because he does some work for the county, and if we end up in something that, that possibly need, he would just recuse himself, or we would just say, we're gonna recuse you, you're not gonna do it for us, and then we just have to seek outside counsel. And he has no problem with that whatsoever. Any other question?
What other choice do we have?
I was gonna ask. we
Locally, none.
advertised, and did we get anything
No,
from
ma'am.
the advertisement as well?
We advertised in southeast Arkansas and got not a peep. There, to my knowledge, the only attorney that's licensed to practice in Warren, in the city limits of Warren, is Mr. Clayton. Of course, he resigned, stepped aside, and, so now this coming year, the general election comes around. Of course, it'll be up for election, but to run for the office, you're gonna have to be a resident of the city of Warren. You know, a legal resident of the city of Warren. Now, if we don't have anybody that fits that category, and don't run, you will be in a position where you can appoint a city attorney for a 4-year period. And they do not have to live in Warren.
And we've done that before.
Yes, you can get somebody from out of town, we just have to go recruit.
But also, Mayor, the Arkansas Municipal League is working on individuals going to school to, you know, that work in our area, the Delta, if they see fit to live in a small town.
I think our local attorneys are even recruiting themselves, trying to find somebody else to come in and work with them or help them, so, but you're right. You ready to vote?
Call for the vote.
All right, this is to appoint Mr. Roper for 1 year, rest of 2026. All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor. Thank y'all, that'll at least help us some right now. Item 3 is the district court deputy clerk, and I'm gonna ask that maybe we put this in the Ways and Means Committee.
I make a motion, we put the district clerk, deputy clerk in the Ways and Means Committee.
Okay, so it's a proper motion, is there a second?
I second.
Okay, motion seconded. Now, just a brief explanation of what's going on here. We've set our budget for 2026. That includes the district court. We have a budget for, of course, we share most of those expenses with the county. There's 2 clerks currently, a chief deputy and a deputy clerk. And we budgeted for them because they are on the city payroll. And this has worked this way for years, nothing new. The city pays their salary every month. Then we bill the county for 1/2. Now the court now, of course, has been moved over to the courthouse. The clerk's office is over there, the court's held over there, so the county has some expenses in the, operational budget, the buying supplies and computers, all the other things it takes to run it. They pay all of that directly and then bill us monthly for 1/2 of it. It's been working this way for years, even when the court was over here. It's the way it was all done. When I notified the county that we were gonna give a 2% raise to everybody, I finally, it took me a while, but I got a response back that basically said that the county would no longer participate in the deputy clerk's salary. Now, I'm not talking about the 2% raise, I'm talking about they wouldn't pay any of it. That they were not required by law to do so. Now, they're not prohibited by law from doing so, but they're not required. I had a long talk with the judge, and we're still in the same situation. Says they're not going to pay any of it. So, as of right now, we're going to have to make some decisions, because we got it budgeted, so we can move on here for at least a month or so, and let the committee look at it and see what they recommend. There's basically 2 choices. We eat the 100% cost of the deputy clerk, or you strike it out of the budget and leave them with 1 clerk, which I'm not recommending to be done, because I think the workload is such that they need both the positions, and so does the district judge. he's aware of this. I just want y'all to know the whole picture, okay? That's what this is all about. All right, the motion is to put it in the committee. Y'all got any discussion of that? All in favor, show of hands. Thank y'all, 5 in favor. And then the last thing, this is an interlocal agreement between the city and the county, and it involves the court, but it has nothing to do with this. This is required by state law that we designate where the fees, some of the fees are paid. If you'll look at that, it says that the city will pay the county, and this is going to be out, we're going to be getting revenue from the court, but out of that, we'll pay $25 per month to cover the law library at the courthouse, and the sum of $200 per month for part of the public defender fund that has to be paid for, a certain amount of it, by local funds. This is not anything radically new. It's just putting all this, we have to have it in a contractual interlocal agreement. And then it also shows the county will pay the city $50 for the intoximeter expense. So this has to do with the operation of the court system and law enforcement. We recommend you approve this agreement. This is nothing, not being ripped off.
The interlocal agreement with District Court be approved as presented.
Second.
All right, got the motion in a second. Member Henderson, Councilmember Toll-Free. Anybody got any question? I don't want to make it more complicated than it is. This is something that needs to be done.
Actually, number 3 actually explains it.
Okay. All right, ready to vote? All in favor, show of hands. This is to approve this particular agreement, okay? All right, announcements. Municipal League Winter Conference starts Wednesday in Little Rock. Several of us are going, and I think maybe a couple of council members. So just remind everybody of that. Hopefully you got all your appropriate information and everything. Municipal building will be closed January the 19th, 2026, in observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. birthday. And we do not intend to pick up garbage unless y'all order us to. And if you do, that's okay, but we'll do it. But I'm just not gonna do it for, we'd have to pay overtime to do it.
That's not the holiday that we said that we would.
And then just to pass on to you for the future, this is not till February 16th, 2026 is President's Day. That is an official holiday of the city as well. And so there'll be no, we'll be closed on that day and no garbage either. Yes, sir, Mr. Toll-Free.
I'm just thrilled to be able to announce, but I know I'm not making an announcement nobody's aware of, about Terrence Robinson being able to be an NIL recipient from the University of Arkansas. And we ought to be extremely proud of him because he is a young man that represents Warren to the utmost.
He does. Very good. Yeah, hopefully most everybody knows that. He's signed with the university.
Money has a way of opening folks' ears.
That puts us, I think currently 3 Warren High School former athletes that will be up there this coming year. And I know they're recruiting another one hard.
Yeah, he got a visit coming up.
All right. Bills.
I move that we pay the bills.
Second.
Motion second. Pay the bills. I think you got the 2 members. Any question on any of our bills? All in favor of paying, show of hands. I see 5 in favor. And then I think the only other thing is our meetings in February. Agenda meeting the 5th, regular council meeting the 9th, unless something crops up that we gotta meet about. So, if everybody's okay with that, I think I am authorized. Councilmember Henderson reminds me of that regularly, that I can adjourn the meeting. Meeting adjourned. Thank y'all very much. Appreciate everybody's time.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
How you doing? She's doing good. She's coming back.
Take care, Rob. Thanks, see you later.